There are some sectors of the economy that are hiring left and right. Stick around and I'll tell you where. Hi, I'm Rory Verrett with the Protégé Leadership Academy. I'm an executive coach and executive recruiter, and I help mid-career professionals and executive leaders succeed in the new world of work. And I wanted to do a video today about something that is top of mind for a lot of my friends and family and people in my network, and that's the layoffs of federal employees. I've spent the bulk of my career in the Washington, D.C. area. I've worked for the federal government. I've recruited for the federal government. I've recruited employees from the federal government. And so many of my friends and colleagues are reaching out because they've been laid off or they're possibly going to be laid off. So I wanted to do a video to talk about how you could successfully pivot from the public sector to the private sector. Making the jump from the federal government to the private sector can feel overwhelming at first, but with the right information, preparation, and mindset, it's a transition that many have made successfully, and so can you. The private sector is looking for talent across many industries, and your experience is incredibly valuable. And while the overall economy is quite disruptive, not every sector is in a downturn. Today, we'll discuss some of the key sectors in the U.S. economy where your skills can make a real impact. Then, we'll talk about how you can position yourself for success and start your transition with confidence. First, let's look at the sectors that are booming in the U.S. right now. Knowing where the opportunities are is crucial, as these are the places that are most actively hiring and growing. And guess what? Your government experience, especially in areas like policy, IT, data analysis, and compliance, translates directly into these industries. So, what are the hottest sectors today? Let's dive in. One of the fastest growing sectors in the world is AI, and it's no surprise. According to PwC, AI could add up to $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. In the US, AI is expected to contribute $1 trillion to the economy annually by 2030. We're talking about a truly transformative industry where the demand for skilled workers is skyrocketing. In fact, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that jobs in computer and information research science, which includes AI roles, will grow by 22% from 2020 to 2030, much faster than the average for all other occupations. Even if your background isn't directly in tech, many government roles have involved managing or working with systems that could be relevant to AI and machine learning, particularly if you've worked with data analysis, cybersecurity, or policy related to technology. And here's something important. AI isn't just for tech companies. It's being implemented across nearly every industry, from healthcare and finance to retail and manufacturing. Your experience managing complex systems, ensuring compliance, and evaluating policies could make you a key asset in AI project management, data security, or even AI ethics and governance. Next, let's talk about healthcare. The U.S. healthcare system is undergoing a massive transformation, especially as we continue to face challenges like an aging population, healthcare policy reform, and technological integration. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, healthcare occupations are projected to grow by 16% from 2020 to 2030, adding about 2.6 million new jobs, much faster than the average for other industries. This growth is fueled by multiple factors, including an increase in chronic diseases and a growing demand for healthcare services, not to mention the massive shift toward digital health solutions. Health tech, telemedicine, and wearable medical devices are all rapidly growing sectors within healthcare. If you've been involved in health policy, healthcare systems, or even the administration of government health programs, your expertise could easily translate into roles within health tech companies, healthcare consulting firms, or private hospitals and clinics looking to innovate. And let's not forget the need for cybersecurity in healthcare. As more sensitive health data moves online, protecting that data is becoming increasingly crucial. If you've worked in cybersecurity or have experience with government regulations around privacy and data protection, you could step into roles like data protection officer or cybersecurity consultant for healthcare organizations. The third hot sector, and I just had a conversation about this week, is communications and technology. From cloud computing and cybersecurity to digital communications and social media, this industry continues to grow at an impressive rate. The tech sector alone accounted for 10.5% of the U.S. GDP in 2021, and according to a report by the National Association of Software and Service Companies, the U.S. tech industry is expected to continue expanding by 5 to 6% annually over the next decade. More companies are shifting to digital platforms, and cybersecurity has become a national priority. In fact, the cybersecurity workforce gap in the U.S. is currently around 500,000 workers, according to a nonprofit organization focused on cybersecurity professionals. If you worked in government roles related to IT management, data security, or communications, these skills are in high demand. In addition to cybersecurity, areas like cloud infrastructure, artificial intelligence and communications, and the shift to 5G technology are also creating tremendous opportunities. If your background includes managing communication systems, regulatory compliance, or project management in tech, the private sector could benefit from your experience. So now that we know where the opportunities are, let's talk about how you can position yourself for success as you transition from the federal government to the private sector. First, take a moment to assess the skills you've built during your time in government service. Many of these skills are directly transferable to the private sector. The key is to identify the ones that are in most demand in the industries you're targeting. For example, if you've worked on complex projects, managed teams, or been involved in large-scale operations, these are all skills that private companies highly value. Let's break that down a bit further. Have you managed large budgets or worked with financial compliance? That translates directly to roles in project management, financial consulting, and even data analysis in the private sector. If you've worked with data systems or cybersecurity frameworks, you have a strong foundation for roles in tech or healthcare security. And if you've been in a leadership position, you can bring that experience into managerial or director-level roles in many industries. Another important aspect of this transition is your ability to speak the language of the private sector. While the work itself may be similar to what you've done in government, private sector companies may use different terminology or prioritize different skills. One of the things I cover in the Career Transition Blueprint is how to effectively translate your experience into the language of the industries you're targeting. Let's take a quick example. If you've worked on a government policy initiative that had an impact on national infrastructure or technology, you would frame that experience in a way that shows the private sector how you can help them manage large-scale projects or navigate complex regulatory environments. This is just one of the strategies I teach in the Career Transition Blueprint, where I help you identify translation points and highlight them in your resume, LinkedIn profile, and other parts of your interview and even your references. Transitioning from government to the private sector doesn't have to be daunting. With the right strategy, preparation, and mindset, you can make this transition smoothly. I've created the Career Transition Blueprint to guide you step by step through this process. I've included a link to the blueprint in the description below. You can also go to protegeleadershipacademy.com directly and find more information on the blueprint. The core of the blueprint is a 10-module program that covers everything you need as a mid-career professional or executive leader to land you your next job. From maintaining a positive mindset, to understanding your career algorithm, to refining your resume and LinkedIn profile, to acing your interviews and possible final round case study presentation, to negotiating a competitive compensation package, and more. The blueprint also includes bi-weekly Q&A sessions with me, an exclusive LinkedIn networking group, a monthly newsletter, and exclusive access to my 70-episode podcast archive. This entire platform will be available at our special launch price for the next 30 days, so make sure you take advantage of these incredible savings. Many people have made the transition from the public to the private sector. I've done it, and I've coached and lectured about this numerous times. I'd love to hear what industries you're most interested in or what challenges you're facing in your transition. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next chapter of your career is the best chapter of your career.